Paul won't die wondering. He goes right round the outside. He has a big go. The national final is over in overtime, and Andrew Corbett gets the checker flag.
Ash Media's coverage of the Australian production sedan title, proudly brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia.
This one brought to us by Cully's Race Equip. The second night of competition is all go. So head down into the main straight the first time. Flavel, half track high. On the outside is Alan Harper. They're three wide behind him. Charles Day and also Barry Rose is there. Michael Hammond is there in fifth place. Jeff Paul in sixth. As they come up into the top turn on the outside of Jeff Paul is Nino Mendez. So move down the main straight the first time. The race leader is car number 14 of Alan Harper. Harper leads from Brad Flavel as they move out of turn number 2 and back down the back straight. Right behind them is Charles Day. Coming underneath is Michael Hammond. Michael Hammond already has made up a couple of spots, starting out as 7. He's up to 3rd. Right there with him is Charles Day, Nino Mendez, Barry Rose and Jeff Paul. There's cars going every which way but loose at the moment. Back then to Stewart, Laura Burns. Then car 121 of Chad Leveson and Jason Whitehead. They come out of turn 3 and 4 past a big crowd in the pits. It's Alan Harper. Well, there's been some sort of a boil over. He's doing a great job out in front. Second place, Brad Flavel. Back then to Michael Hammond. Nino Mendez in 4th place. Harper is getting away from them. Back there in 5th place, it's Charles Day. 6th place is Barry Rose, then Jeff Paul. Michael Hammond gets underneath of Brad Flavel and moves into 2nd place. But Harper's got a comfortable lead. He's out by 1.4 seconds. Back then to Michael Hammond, Flavel, Mendez and Charles Day as they go down the back straight once again. Back there in 5th place is Barry Rose and then back to Jeff Paul, Laura Burns as they move into the main straight. Harper, Hammond, car number 11 of Brad Flavel, then car 2 of Nino Mendez. Something wrong with the transponder on Mendez once again. Not the first time that's happened. He's there in 4th place, being electronically or manually put into the electronic timing, if that makes any sense. He moves into 3rd now underneath the Flavel. Rose and Paul have also got through on Charles Day, and Michael Hammond has now caught the race leader. So the 6th highest qualifier, Michael Hammond, goes to the lead underneath of Alan Harper. Mendez back there in 3rd place. Back then to Flavel in 4th. Rose 5th. Jeff Paul in 6th position. And then behind them would be car number 10, Charles Day and Laura Burns. And a gap back then to the final 3 cars, Leviston, Stewart and Whitehead. Down the back straight though, Michael Hammond the leader. 2nd place is that of 14, Alan Harper. Mendez 3rd. A great old battle for the minor placings. Into the main straight, Flavel 4th. Rose and Jeff Paul side by side with Charles Day behind them, and Laura Burns is tucked away in 8th position. 1-2-1 goes to the infield. That is Chad Leveson. 3 laps to go this time around in heat number 19 of the Australian title for Cully's Race Equip. It's Michael Hammond, Harper, and underneath of Alan Harper goes car number 2, Mendez. So Mendez moves up to 2nd place. Mendez started in 6th, he's up to 2nd, while Michael Hammond started out as 7th and he's the race leader. Flavel in 4th, back then to Rose, and 24, Jeff Paul. Further back then to Charles Day and Laura Burns, Josh Stewart and then Jason Whitehead. We may well have a grandstand finish coming up. 1.5 laps left to go. Michael Hammond by 2 car lengths. Mendez is absolutely flying in the concluding stages. Out of turn 3 and 4. Out comes the white flag. 1 lap to go in the first heat of the night. Heat number 19. Mendez looking to get underneath it for Michael Hammond. Down the back straight the last time. Michael Hammond and Mendez. Back to Alan Harper. Barry Rose gets underneath the Flavel. Out comes the checkered flag. Michael Hammond and Mendez. Mendez into the side of Hammond. Hammond wins. Mendez 2nd, then back to Alan Harper. Blanket go for the minors. Brad Flavel, Barry Rose and Jeff Paul. Charles Day, then Laura Burns, Josh Stewart and Jason Whitehead. 4th, 5th and 6th were separated by not very much at all. 0.268 in fact separated the 3 cars for 4th, 5th and 6th. It's Michael Hammond, Nino Mendez and Alan Harper are your top 3. The time was 3 minutes, 57.771. The quick lap was a 19.2. 3-2. The winner is Michael Hammond.
And just trackside now with the hammer, Michael Hammond. And looking quite all right. Takes the helmet off. I think a little bit of quiet confidence now coming from the man from our southwest. Hammer. Now, I asked you last night about how confident you felt and how you felt about tonight. After winning the first of tonight's heats, how do you feel?
40 laps is going to be a long way, so...
Okay, just making sure that yep.
Yeah, 40 laps is going to be a long way, so we'll see how we go. Yeah, car feels reasonably good. We'll make a few changes, try and get a bit better, and yeah, see how we go.
You reckon you can bring it back for WA?
Hey, I'd love to. That's what we're here for, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the hammer! Put your hands together. Come on, Celebrations Hill. He's one of our local WA heroes. Ladies and gentlemen now.